I don't know. It's just a little too much, I think, for your average gym rat. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. All right, what is up, you guys? We are here going to do a quick video today, a little bit of a follow-up to the Floyd Mayweather one-of-one supplement review that I did roughly a month ago, 4 weeks ago, it says, according to my channel, and end of May was when we did that. And that is because I think we might have got a little bit of it wrong. We've had more time now, so I wanted to be fair and give a follow-up response, which kind of only made sense. So, for starters, let's just get right into it. At the end of that video, I started it right when I had kind of started to run out of some things. What was it? The protein, I think I ran out of, and the peptide builders, and I was getting close on the pre-workout, but that was only a couple days after I had finished those products. And so now, having had this time, about a 3-week gap or so, to go about things the same, just using workout-wise, go about things the same way. Workout-wise with protein and then pre-workout and creatine. That's all I've been taking. That is all I've been using with my workouts since then. But in that gap of time, I noticed, like, in that week after, a couple days after I made that video, actually, I started to definitely notice the strength decrease and effects more of the peptide builders, which are specifically helpful in building up your strength and helping you work out and build the strength better in your recovery and all that stuff. And I started to notice it, and it was not feeling very good. The joy was getting taken out of exercising as much as I was prior with them. And so after a couple weeks, I was like, okay, let's give them another shot. And there was a Father's Day sale, so I was like, all right, let's get it. Because mind you, again, the most expensive single product on the one-of-one website is the peptide builders, which I'm kind of seeing why now. A little bit more of a more rare product that is maybe harder to find in just a general sense. So I got some more. Here, and you can see they're blending in with the background. That's kind of funny. And yeah, big difference. I have noticed a big difference. I've only been, I got this supply on this past Friday. Today, right now, is Tuesday. I got them right before my workout, so that was perfect timing. Got to use them that day, and then, you know, take them over the weekend. You still take them when you are not working out. And immediately this week, my strength was back to where it was before, in terms of like, all right, I'm going to go into the gym and lift what I was doing before. I lost a little bit of that from coming off of them. So they are definitely very helpful, and you can notice the difference in terms of just feeling better, and I don't know, it makes you want to go to the gym more too. I mean, aside from the pre-workout and everything else, you're kind of putting these things together, right? But I think I've changed my mind. I think that the peptide builders, pretty worth it. Still, you know, a pretty steep price of $80, but when you kind of consider the other things that you might be taking and finding good value on them, it's like, it's not that bad. So now what I'm looking at is I still don't think that the pre-workout, the one-on-one pre-workout, is worth it, because it's just, the flavors are terrible. They're so goddamn gross. And so, especially when there are alternatives out there, and this is going to be outside of the one-of-one chain here, but I found this product, the Lit. I know it's kind of a newer one that has been getting some good reviews and responses, and it's the gummy worm flavor, and it's incredible. It's fucking amazing. So I definitely highly recommend that. And so this is kind of becoming my go-to pairing now. So we have the peptide builders, and then for your pre-workout, definitely recommend trying that. Still, this was only, I think, $40 at GNC, compared to, I believe, the same price, $45. Let's take a look at the website just to remind myself. Sport pre-workout for one of one is 35, but that's the sport one, so a little bit less intense, less caffeine, all that stuff, as opposed to the loaded here, which that one is 50. And how many servings? 20 servings. So 50 for 20 servings. 50 more milligrams of caffeine than lit, though. I will say that. But 30 servings from the lit, 40 bucks on that one, and just indescribably better flavor. Again, I only tried the sour green apple, but that one is disgusting. No idea how the pink or the snow cone are. Maybe those are great. Maybe they're good, but still, you're getting less. You're getting less out of these products, which is kind of the thing, right? So I've been looking at, if I was to stick with a certain bundle here from 101, it would be one of one, excuse me, they just title it that way. One of one would be the muscle bundle here, which has the protein, which is great flavor. Again, I mean, they have the milk chocolate, but toasted marshmallow, that's the way to go. That stuff is fantastic. The creatine, I mean, this is kind of funny, right? So like, I don't think I can look at this again here while we're on it. The creatine, okay, I guess you can get the 200, but that jumps up to 50 there. 200 servings versus 80 is such a drastic difference. It's kind of insane. And I'm still killing the 80 that I have. I haven't finished that yet, so that is a pretty solid deal. But you can find there are still cheaper alternatives out there, like 100 serving creatine cases for like 20 bucks. You can find on Amazon from some solid places. But with that bundle, you get the 15% off, and then you can do the 200, and it goes from 131 to 150, which plus the peptide builders in there, that's the big thing, right? That's the big sell. If I was to stick with a bundle, a specific thing, it would definitely be this one, and I was considering it, but just for the amount or the lack of amount of protein that you're kind of getting. Like, if they could do a bigger one in here, I would say for sure, let's do that. But I just don't think you get enough. So like, I'm totally fine with going with an alternative creatine, and then, you know, alternative protein, and obviously the pre-workout, not even a question. Definitely recommend lit over theirs. At least the sour apple, again, the flavors I had were just terrible. But if there was one bundle I would recommend, it would definitely be this one, and the one that I've considered. But I don't know. For that protein, it's just too little compared to what you can get like from Costco, which I have been using. Outside of that, though, you don't need any other products. I mean, the only thing, what I'm getting at here now, is that I think the peptide builders are certainly worth it, and you can mix and match with other things like I'm doing now. So I would say, yeah, a lot of everything else is pretty unnecessary unless you want to do that one bundle right there. I think would be the way to go. But like, you don't need the greens. And I wanted to walk this back actually after doing more research and seeing some stuff. I said that AG1 was like a popular, good alternative in the last video. I've seen that is much more expensive actually. So if you do want greens, I guess I would recommend them for one of one also, but not super necessary, I don't think. I noticed some differences or the effects of that after coming off of it, but it's much less significant than the peptide builders. So essentially what I wanted to prop up here was the peptide builders are totally worth it. I think that bundle that I just showed is solid too if you're fine with the amount of protein that you're getting. I mean, if you raise the creatine, I think that's a shitload of creatine, so that's a good deal. But it's just the protein, kind of the lack of compared to other places. It's really good. I still might do it. I still might go with that just because it's pretty solid. You just kind of have to weigh your math and see how much you care about that. Because again, you're investing in yourself, which it's going to be a little bit expensive. And of course, you can do the subscriptions too, which is nice. But essentially, I just wanted to prop up the peptide builders. So it's a maybe, right? Like, it's quality in terms of the products that we're getting from one of one, but a lot of the stuff is unnecessary. but I think that these are the ones. These are the ones. If I had to say, is totally worth it, it would be them. So, all right, there we go. Wanted to give a fair shake, you guys. There it is.